So, are you ready for the top five movies of 2009?
Yeah, finally, because I mean this month was tough also.
Yes, a
You
lot
know,
of all over the place movies this year.
yeah, all over the place. But I finally put my list together, and you're probably not gonna like it anyway.
Oh, I know for a fact you're not going to like my list at all.
Well, I could think of at least three three that you put on your list.
Okay, we'll see. You'll probably guess correctly on at least two, yeah.
Okay,
But we'll see. I'll start us off.
okay.
So I went almost full blown comedy on this one, man. Number five is The Invention of Lying. Have you seen this movie?
Now,
This is
I,
one that really kind of slipped through the cracks. I don't think.
is this a lion like in the animal lion?
No, no, no. Lying, like as in telling a
Lion.
lie.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it stars Ricky Gervais. And this was before, man, I don't even know if the British office had, I guess that must have come out already at that point, but he was relatively unknown at the time to most of America, I think. But
I still don't know who he is, but
he's the British guy that usually hosts the Golden Globes and like totally decimates everybody. Uh,
uh,
he's
yeah,
really funny.
I don't watch the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He's done all kinds of shows, but anyway, he's great in this. And the whole premise of the movie is it's like a parallel universe of where we live in which lying does not exist yet. So everyone is just brutally honest with each other about everything, even like minute details of their life. So like in the beginning, he's going on this date with Jennifer Garner, and she answers the door, and she's like, "Oh, I was just upstairs masturbating. I'll be right down." And then, and then, and then he goes like, "I am thinking of you masturbating right now, and I like it a lot." And like, so like, that's the dialogue. Like, just everyone just says whatever they're thinking at all times, and no lying. So then he something happens and he decides to tell a lie, and he does they don't even know what to call a lie, so he just says, "I said something that wasn't," and it felt really good. And then there's all Louis CK is in it. A lot of comedians are kind of supporting roles. Rob Lowe is in it, and he's really funny as a jerk, of course. And it's not the greatest comedy of all time, but it's interesting enough to keep your attention. So I really enjoyed it, and just for that one scene I mentioned, it's pretty hilarious. So,
Okay,
what's your number five?
my number five, Angels and Demons.
Of course,
Well, you knew it
I could
had a,
have guessed that one.
yeah, I know you could have guessed that one. Director Ron Howard, Tom Hanks, Ewan McGregor, and I don't even know, Arid Zooer.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So this is the second movie,
Right.
but it's really the first Robert Langdon book,
Right. Right.
not the second one. They actually they reversed it.
Exactly. Is this the one where is there a scene in the movie where they're being chased by kind of like helicopter drones at one point?
No,
That's the oh, okay.
that's the third one.
The third one. Okay, never mind. I
No,
get them all mixed up.
this one he's actually helping the Catholic Church on this one.
Okay, right.
So what it is that they're up in Switzerland,
Hmm.
and they got what is it, that burn thing, that big round thing where they're smashing particles, the particle smasher, right? So they do that, and they've actually achieved what they call the God particle.
Uh-huh.
So somebody steals it to weaponize it, and they're going to use it to blow up the Vatican,
Yeah.
surrounding area.
Right. And
And so the Catholic Church hires Langdon because of all these symbols. And so the bad guys are the Illuminati, or they're
of
the
course.
good guys, depending on, what your take is, because according to the story is the Catholic Church was, killing them off and torturing them and all these other bad things. So they
Right.
went into hiding. So now they're back up and they're like reversing the thing.
Right, right.
So there's also a problem because the Pope died. So now they have the big thing where they have to elect a new Pope and stuff like that. So there's all this intrigue and mystery and all these things that have to be solved. Plus,
Yeah.
4 cardinals have been captured.
Right.
So now they're trying to rescue them, and there was all these clues to where they're going to be, because every hour up until 12 midnight, they're going to be killed off.
Yeah.
And then at 12 midnight, the God particle is supposed to blow up Rome. So
A multiple conspiracy theory action adventure extravaganza.
Exactly.
Of course, that had to be on
I
your
could
list.
not have said it any better.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, my number 4 is yet another comedy. And this one, actually, I think you liked this because I believe we showed this to you and Barbara, and you guys did laugh out loud a few times. And it's directed by Woody Allen and stars Larry David, and it's Whatever Works. Do you recall watching this?
No, I don't. Enlighten me or refresh my memory.
Larry David essentially plays himself, which essentially is a version of Woody Allen, but crankier, who lives in New York. This, an old guy that is very, let's say, just has a negative outlook on life in general, and just these circumstances of this young homeless girl asks if she can live with him, and she's from the South, and he says sure, and then somehow it of course, because it's written and directed by Woody Allen, turns into a romance that's highly unlikely. But then when it really starts hitting its stride is like the mother comes down because she's looking for her, and she's like this evangelical Christian, but then she ends up, like, all the characters in the movie go through changes throughout the film, and the whole basic concept of the movie is Larry David's take on life is whatever works, whatever makes you happy, that kind of thing. So all these characters are obviously their morality is shaky to begin with, and they all go in totally different directions, but Larry David is the one consistent cranky old man that's hilarious. So Ed Begley Jr. is in it, and he plays the dad. Henry Cavill, who went on to play Superman, is in it as someone who ends up romancing the young girl away from Larry David at one point, and he's just like, whatever. So it's got I think Larry David's hilarious in general. So with him at the starring and Woody Allen directing, I was like, how can you go wrong? But
Okay.
so obviously you don't remember it.
No, I don't remember it at all.
All right. Well, anyway,
So
what? Yeah.
probably the fact that we were coerced into watching it had my
Yeah,
mind wandering and I wasn't watching it at all, even though I was looking at the screen.
I see. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a possibility.
Very, very good possibility. Yes.
Personality is settling
That could be too. All right. Well, what's your number 4?
in. My number 4 is a guy I would think obviously on your higher up on your list,
Hmm.
The Hangover.
Yeah. Oh, it made your list.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is higher on my list.
Directed by Todd Phillips.
Hmm.
Uh, long list of people, Bradley Cooper, Ed Helms, Zach,
Galifianakis.
yes, thank you,
Yes.
Justin Bartha, Heather Graham, Ken Jeong. Did I say
Oh,
that?
Ken Jeong, the
Um,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
the Asian guy that jumps out of the trunk naked.
Mike Tyson
Yes.
and the Tiger.
Mike Tyson as himself singing Phil Collins music as they approach him.
Yes, exactly.
So many classic scenes, man.
I
And
know. But
I went into this movie too, thinking, okay, there's so many movies about going to Vegas and doing the whole drug induced thing, but I like that they do this whole kind of, in a way, it's a mystery movie as well, because you're trying to figure out where did they put Doug, or where is Doug?
it wasn't just that. It was, okay, where did the baby come from? Where
Right.
did the tiger come from? Then where is their best friend?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
so there was it's more like a mystery
A
movie.
mystery that you have to kind of work backwards, because
Yes,
some
exactly.
of the stuff and
You
some
know,
of the clues are just
yeah.
totally nonsense. But yeah,
Why do they have the police car and not the Mercedes?
right.
You know,
How the hell did they get Mike Tyson's tiger and all that? And some of
yeah,
the stuff is later revealed. Some of it's actually not even revealed until the end credits with their photo reel.
yeah,
Uh,
right. The photo reel.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that they
But
were going to destroy after they
yeah,
saw it once and stuff. Yeah, a lot of good parts in it.
yeah.
When they're in the police department and they volunteer,
Yes.
to just to give you an example, not to go through the whole movie with
Right.
all the funny parts and stuff, but
The
they
taser gun.
volunteer. Yes, right.
Yeah.
So they're teaching or showing these kids how to
Right.
use a taser, and these kids come up to like taser,
Yeah.
yeah,
The three
the-
guys. Yeah.
yeah, right,
It's so classic, man. Every scene is memorable, and there's so many just quotable lines, especially Zach Galifianakis, man, who you can tell he improvised most of his stuff, because he's just like that in almost all the movies he's in. And his stand-up comedy is wacky like that anyway. So he more or less played himself, but as a really dumb guy who was also kind of an idiot savant, because later he did the counting cards Rain Man thing. And what's cool too is, if you're a fan of just great movies, there's little nods to a lot of movies like Rain Man. Like there's the shot that they do, the casino shot when they meet Ken Jeong in the middle of the desert, and you see the car pull up in his sunglasses reflection. But yeah, Ken Jeong is also hilarious with just the way he talks to them, and I can't repeat some of his lines, but
and yeah,
uh, Ed Helms pulling out his own tooth to impress the stripper played by Heather Graham. And just the whole thing with him like having to call his fiance back home and be like, Oh yeah, we're in Napa right now. That's the sound of a baby goat. And it's like and the baby screaming in the back seat with gunshots and stuff. I love it, man. It's awesome. So
Yeah,
yes, it's
I
higher.
mean, and they made two sequels. So
Yeah.
plus it
Which not
was,
as good, but yeah.
you know, it was the 10th highest grossing movie that year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that explains the sequels, but yes.
469 million. Yeah, so
Right.
they had a lot of money to work with, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the best, man. So yeah, I'd say it even overtakes movies like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, because that one is more just weird and almost plotless. This one is just nonstop fun from beginning to end. So great pick. My number three is the other one that I think you'll guess is on my list, and I'm hoping is on yours as well. It's Inglorious Bastards.
Yes, actually have it higher up on my list.
Aha. All right. Quentin Tarantino, one of his very best. And I know we've talked about this before on the Quentin episode that we did, but it's actually, I would say my what, and probably we talked about that. It's my favorite Tarantino movie, even above Pulp Fiction. Um, and I mean, for many reasons, but everybody's great in this. Brad Pitt, Christoph Waltz, who won Best Supporting Actor as one of the greatest villains of all time,
Right.
the Jew hunter.
I mean,
Uh,
just the opening scenes
yeah,
where
that opening scene is so suspenseful.
where he's sitting in the room,
Mhm.
inside the farmer's house,
Right, and
because he
the people are under the floorboards
right,
hiding.
which he knew that they were there someplace in the house, and
Right,
but he says he's talking so relaxed,
right,
and he's asked for a glass of milk, and
yeah,
just like talking, you
hmm
know, like shooting the breeze type talking,
right.
and then he finally gets to the point,
And
you
then
know,
what's brilliant is he has to switch to English,
right,
and he knows that they under the floorboard don't understand him at that point.
right,
And yeah, man, it's horrible, but it's great.
right. And
And
then the one girl that escapes,
yeah, Shoshana,
right.
uh, who
So it
she's
turns,
great in the movie too. Melanie, gosh, I forget her last name, but she's awesome.
I don't know if I have her. Yeah, Melanie Laurent.
Yes, Melanie Laurent.
Yeah,
Yeah, and she's great. Getting her revenge later in the movie.
right.
Yeah, it's like an ultimate revenge movie to the point where they even change historical events.
I know.
Not to give it away, but
I know, yeah. And then, but it's almost like a double revenge movie because the
mhm,
Inglorious Bastards themselves was a
yes,
revenge unit.
right. Yeah, and Brad Pitt as Lieutenant Aldo Rain is so great, man, with his southern accent, and
You
then
know, and
later
then
in
speaking Italian,
yes, with the southern accent, he's like buongiorno, and it's just so obvious that
you
he's
know,
and it's like, yeah, you just know Christoph Waltz is gonna get him, which he does. But yeah, there's several twists to the ending too that make it so awesome.
yeah,
uh
definitely.
you
You
don't know
know,
what's coming.
and like Walt is like so calm through the whole movie. It's
Right.
just one scene where he
Hmm.
loses it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, when he bursts into anger, it's just like, Jesus, man,
Right.
this guy is really scary when he wants to be. So
Yeah.
that's what makes him one of the greatest villains ever, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so many other great, the bear Jew, where the guy that beats the hell out of people with a bat. um and the scene when they get to the movie theater scene, it's just like such a great build up. and also somewhat horrifying. But yeah, man, I think it's Tarantino's masterpiece, and it's only my number 3. So, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Star Trek.
Ah, that is my honorable mention.
Is it really? Okay. Well, at least you put it on the list.
I think, hey, it's one of the best reboots of all time, probably.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams.
Yep.
Chris Pine, excellent as Captain James T. Kirk.
Yeah, great casting all around.
Yeah, great. Zachary Quinto as Spock. You know, he
Yep.
almost actually looks like Spock.
Yeah, totally.
And Leonard Nimoy. I mean, I think everybody knows who that is.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, and the way that they gradually inserted, you know, the people that are on, you know, the starship. Yeah.
Right. And it gives them a little bit of a backstory, which you didn't really have even in the originals, unless you watched the TV show, I guess.
Yeah. So you know who Kirk's father is, because it starts, you know, the movie where the captain gets killed by these Romulans, and it's also a time travel movie.
Technically, right? Yeah.
So you know, captain gets killed. His father is the first officer, so now he's in charge, and he has everybody evacuate the ship because the ship is being blown to pieces, including his wife, who was pregnant with, obviously, James T. Kirk. And then it shows a little bit of his childhood where he was like totally rebellious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all kinds of good stuff.
And the same thing when Spock was a kid. You know, the reasons why he decided to join Starfleet instead of being at that science center.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So for people who loved the original Star Trek, especially, this was very welcome. I enjoyed it a lot. And, you know, I wasn't really into the Next Generation stuff. So I was more looking forward to this than that kind of reboot.
I mean,
anyway.
it had a lot of eye candy, a lot of ICG and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But still, it had that camaraderie between the characters that the original Star Trek had.
Yeah. And this was probably, you know, I don't know if it was this one or then the one after, but that got J.J. Abrams the job of essentially rebooting Star Wars as well. So what a resume for that guy.
Yeah, right.
But
didn't he also do Aliens?
Did he? I don't know. The Aliens reboot, you mean? I don't know. I don't.
Well, not the trilogy Alien. Didn't he have something to do with those?
I think you might be thinking of David Fincher did the third one, and James Cameron did Aliens.
Okay.
I'm not sure after that who did the.
Maybe he was a producer or something.
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, in the world of sci-fi, Mr. Abrams is held in high regard. So good choice. All right. So my number 2 is The Hangover. So there you go. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is the Inglourious Basterds.
All right. So we're at number 1.
Yes.
So mine is yet another comedy.
Yeah.
And it's I Love You, Man, which I'm sure you probably have never seen. Or have you?
I don't believe so, no.
It's Paul Rudd, who played from Ant-Man. I'm sure you know him from that.
Yes, I know from Ant-Man.
And Jason Segel, who I think you don't know who he is, but he's in a lot of other stuff. but the two of them are the main leads. The gist of the movie is Paul Rudd just proposed to his girlfriend Rashida Jones to get married, and he realizes that he doesn't really have many guy friends, and she has plenty of girlfriends. And everyone in this movie is hilarious. Uh, J.K. Simmons is the father, and he's great. Andy Samberg is his brother. Thomas Lennon from Reno 911 pops up. Joe LaTrulia from, uh, I think, also from that show. Anyway, great cast. But the gist of the movie is he realizes he doesn't have any guy friends, so he's on a quest to make guy friends to be his best man for the wedding. And Jason Segel ends up being that guy, but it's almost like a romance movie for like because it feels like he's going on dates with guys almost. And it's there's just so much hilarity ensues. Even he's a real estate agent who's trying to sell Lou Ferrigno's house, so he has a cameo as well. That's very hilarious. And I could go on and on about this movie. It's one of my favorite comedies ever, so I had to have it at number one.
Okay.
So what is your number one?
Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Son of a I knew it.
However,
Yeah.
if you're ever going to watch a Harry Potter movie, this is the one to watch. Because you do not need to know anything that was going on in the previous movies to be able to watch this movie.
And wait, what is it called again?
Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
The Half-Blood Prince. Okay.
Yes. And Alan Rickman plays a lot in this movie.
Okay.
So
I'm interested.
I figured that would get you too.
All right. Well, cool. And that's also a good factor that I could maybe start with this one. If is this the best Harry Potter movie? Is what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you didn't want to watch the previous ones, then you could start with this one, because then after this is the last movie, which is actually split into two parts. So there's like two more movies to go.
Okay.
So it also sets up those two movies.
I see.
So if you saw that this one, maybe then you would want to watch the next two movies.
All right. Okay.
And in this one, they're probably like, I would guess, maybe 18 years old. Around that age.
Yes. And it's a good adventure on this one.
Yeah, it's a good adventure. Also, there's mysteries that they're trying to solve. A lot of things going on, in the background and stuff, but they don't have like the silly stuff they've had in the previous movies. Like the scenes with his uncle that where he makes him sleep in the closet, and all this other stuff. So this one is like a real movie.
Okay. So now the question is, do we have our number ones duke it out for the one spot, or do we have our two in common be our 1 and 2 and then go from there?
Well, we usually have it where we duke out the first one.
Yeah.
And then, being as how our second and third ones are the same, then we can make that the number
2 and 3.
I guess.
Yeah.
well, if we duke out 1 and 2, then obviously,
Oh, then it'd be
whichever
3
one-
and 4. Yeah.
yeah, then 3
Okay.
and 4.
All right. Well, I've done the duking, and Harry Potter wins, unfortunately, with a 3.6. And I Love You Man only has a 3.3, so that will be number 2. So then,
You should have had Inglourious Basterds as number 2 or as number 1.
well, since it's your 2 and my 3, so we'll put that as the number 3.
Right.
And then,
Inglourious Basterds number 4.3, so it'd be tough to beat that one.
then we got obviously The Hangover will be our number 4 because that was my 2 and your 4 in common. And then Star Trek is your 3. That's the next one down. So that's number 5. That's makes it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, because then my next lowest are 4 and 5. So very good. Okay, so what's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is the highest grossing film of all time,
What is that?
Avatar.
Oh, we didn't even talk about Avatar. Yeah, forgot that. We saw that in the
We
theater
did
together.
mention James Cameron though, but yeah.
Yes, that's right. I was like, man, that's so weird that that's the highest grossing movie of all time to me.
I know. $2.7 billion that year.
Insane. He knows how to work the global market, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the big things was that it was in 3D.
Right.
And there was also like a lot of eye candy in the thing. The story was really so-so.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was all the ICG, you know, being able to go from human into, you know, a clone body that looks like, you know,
Right.
the aliens on the planet.
Yep.
And, you know, the usual takeover. The bad guy wants to take over everything, get them out, get them pissed off. You know,
Right.
knocks down their tree, you know, the symbol of their life and all this stuff. So
Yeah, a little bit of a environmentalist thing going on in the story as well. And yeah, the acting was good. Sigourney Weaver is in it. I forget the girl that plays the alien actress, but she was great actually. I actually
she
thought
was the one that played
Uhura in Star Trek. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Right. I always forget her name, but she did great because I actually
Zoe Saldana.
that's her. Yeah, I found her to be an attractive alien. I thought.
Yes. Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah,
So you have alien fantasies.
yeah. Weren't they kind of blue? Yeah, like I got a thing for
Yeah,
Smurfs.
blue. Got light
Yeah.
blue.
So, but yeah, I thought, and the love story was kind of nice, and the whole what was it
Yeah.
they kept saying to each other? I see you, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. So it was
See you, or
memorable.
did I feel you? I don't remember.
I Feel You, I think, might be a different movie.
Yeah, right.
The X-rated version.
Yeah, maybe
But
The Room. I don't know.
yeah, right. All right. Well, very good. Anything else you wanted to mention from 2009 before we
Yeah,
leave the list?
actually, there was like a lot of movies that you're not, well, I'm not going to go through all of them, obviously. The second Transformers movie, Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah.
The 2012, which was, you know, global.
Yet
warming.
another end of the world movie. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Up.
Oh yeah, Up. I almost had as my honorable mention.
Yeah. The Twilight Saga, New Moon, the second part. See, that didn't even make my list.
Yeah. Yeah. Good soundtrack on that one, actually.
Friday the 13th.
You
know, slasher movie.
Yeah.
The first one where you're friend was in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Uh, then
Corey
the girl,
Feldman, you're saying?
yes, Corey
Yes.
Feldman. Of
Uh-huh.
course, he dies in this one, but yeah, and Friday the 13th. I can't remember how many movies it spawned. It was
There's
like,
got to be more than 13 now.
yeah, it was in the teens. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo trilogy.
Uh-huh.
They actually did all three movies in the same year.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, this is the foreign one, not the American version.
Oh,
So
okay.
the foreign one I like better than the American version.
Yeah.
Uh, Sherlock Holmes,
Uh-huh.
Zombieland,
Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah. The Taking,
Great cameo by Bill Murray in that.
yeah, that's right at the end there.
Yeah.
The Taking of Pelham 123,
Mm-hmm.
Crazy Heart, which I thought was going to be out, would have been on your list.
Oh yeah. No, I like that one, but I didn't love it by any means.
Okay,
But good performance by Jeff Bridges, of course.
right. Yeah, I think he won the Academy Award.
Mm-hmm.
And the other two Academy Award movies were Precious and The Blind Side.
Okay. Yep. Bringing back memories.
Yeah.
2009.
And the big one was Hurt Locker, but that was last year. For some reason, neither one of us had it on our list.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Nah, I didn't get into that one that much, but
Yeah, I didn't either, but it was like a big Academy Award winner. So,
right.
but you know,
All right. Well, the official list, the top 5 movies of 2009, according to 3 and 4, are at number 5, Star Trek. At number 4, The Hangover. At number 3, Inglourious Basterds. At number 2, I Love You, Man. And at number 1, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Yeah.
yeah.
I couldn't read my own handwriting. I almost said the Half-Blood Pride, which makes no sense. But yeah.
Yeah, so like if you're going to see any of them, see that one.
All right.
And see how you like that.
I'll make a note, sir.
Okay.
Maybe we'll put that on the list of things to watch when we're together soon.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll watch that one. I won't force you to watch the previous, I don't know, 6 of them or 5 of them, whatever.
If that'll be my way, either in or out. If I don't dig it, then I won't watch any more. But if I do, I'll start at the beginning and go from there.
But I know, like if Katya
Yeah.
saw the movie, her review would be a bunch of guys running around with sticks.
I'm sure. If she stays awake for it enough to know that. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll see you guys on the next one, 2010, a new decade, and getting closer to current day. So be on the lookout, and I'll see you then. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.